Hi everybody, Kim Berry here with Kim's DIY Tribe and welcome back. Thanks for watching. If you haven't hit subscribe, please do so. Give me a thumbs up or a like. Today we are doing a really neat project, especially for those of you that are new to Glowforge. This will be a fun, easy, impressive project that you're going to love. And if you don't have a Glowforge yet, use my code. It will save you a ton of money and it'll earn me a small commission as well. We're also going to be using Cricut's product called Infusible Ink. You don't need the Cricut machine to do this project, but you just need these ink sheets. They come in a box like this. They're available at Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, Amazon, Cricut. These sheets come in a variety of colors and patterns. Here's kind of a mermaid feel. And they will be applied to the acrylic. Any acrylic project you do in your Glowforge on clear acrylic, you can use Infusible Ink on. So let me show you how. We're going to make some basic keychains with the new Glowforge user interface, and let's get started. Here's what we're starting with. This is Glowforge, from Glowforge, proof grade acrylic, cast acrylic. There's two different main types of acrylic out on the market, cast and extruded. You want cast for the laser, that's what's considered laser safe acrylic, and it may come masked like this, or it may not be masked and you will need to mask it yourself with some paper masking. All the links have been provided below, as well as in the post on my blog that goes with this project. So this is already pre-masked, it's been used. And I always save because this is the perfect size for earrings or keychains like our project today. You can use pretty much every piece of your wood, acrylic, whatever you're using. Save the scraps because they're usable. So I wanted to show you this before we got started. I'm going to put it in the laser bed and I'm going to pull up my computer screen and show you what we're going to do. Okay, so here we are in the Glowforge user interface, and we are going to hit on the word create in the design library. We are going to click on new blank design, and here is my acrylic loaded into the Glowforge bed. I'm going to hit the text feature because we are making a simple text-based keychain. So it's going to load here. I have already previously chosen Grand Hotel as the font, but you can choose from hundreds of fonts in here. You just have to look around for what you like. I tend to like Good Vibes and Grand Hotel for these keychains, but you can choose anything you like. Then you're going to type in whatever word it is you're wanting to make a keychain for. It could be Corona, quarantine, or a name. So once I click that in, I'm going to click it here, and there it is. Now I'm going to size it up a little bit, and if you notice here on my screen, I drew two pencil lines on the masking on my acrylic to give me a ballpark of about a 4-inch keychain. Because of when I am placing my acrylic in the bed, these inch markers are sometimes hard to follow when you're using the spare parts of a piece of product. So that gave me an idea about a 4-inch keychain. So now what I want to do is I want to go up here to the shapes, and I'm going to insert a little circle for my keychain findings, for the actual jewelry findings that you need for a keychain. Of course, this is going to be much too big, so I'm going to size it down, the size I would need, and I'm going to bring it over and put it in front of the name. Then I'm going to click on my name and the Shift key and click on that circle to make them one unit. Now I'm going to move them over just a little to give myself room for the offset path, which they've made super easy. Right here on this mountain is what is creating an outline. So when you click on this and you have your circle and your name highlighted, you're going to click on the mountain, which is create outline, and you click it, and you get to decide how much of an offset you want. This one is pretty tight because it is closer to the 0. So if you want your offset to be slightly larger so that this isn't too thin and more breakable, then I recommend you just increase your offset just a little. You don't want it to be too bubbly cloudy. See, that's a little bit too big for my taste, but it is more durable. And these keychains don't have to be keychains. They could be backpack clips or lunchbox markers. to personalize or identify things that your kids might carry to school. You could put these on a car binder clip on a backpack or a lunchbox or maybe even a water bottle, depending on what kind of things you have. So here we are, it's ready to go. Now notice, this is saying it's going to cut out the whole outline first, then cut my circle, then engrave. I don't want it to do it in that order. If it cuts it away, this piece may drop down into the tray just a little, and that may throw off where the circle gets cut. So I'm just going to drag these the way I want them. So I want the engrave to come first, so I'm going to slide it up to the top. Then I want the circle to get cut out because I don't care if it drops down to the bed, it won't shift the whole keychain. And then lastly, I want my offset to cut. So it's going to engrave, and then it's going to cut the circle, and then it's going to cut the outline of this keychain. Notice it's telling me it already read this UPC code and it's telling me it's medium clear acrylic. So we are good to go. I'm going to come over here and press this print button, and it's going to tell me how long this job is going to take and prepare the cameras and the view of my machine. I can hear it setting up in the background. The magic is already starting to happen. And truly, this machine is like magic. It's scanning and deciding how and where it needs to do its lasering. Okay, so here we are with our laser engraved and cut out keychain, or like I said, could be a backpack tag. This one is bigger than I would normally make them for the video because I wanted you to be able to see all the detailing. There's no harm in it being big. I just don't usually carry around big keychains like this, but lots of people do. Normally I would size this down about 20% smaller than it is. I just wanted you to be able to see. Now I am unmasking the paper from the acrylic, and it just peels off. You want to be careful about using tools or implements of destruction, getting your masking off, because you don't want to scratch or scrape the acrylic. You can see scratch marks and scrapes if you're not careful. So if you do use one of the tools to pull off or help you like weed this off of there, be careful, be aware. A lot of people use Gorilla Tape. They'll just lay Gorilla Tape right on there and pull it right off. That would be fine. And there you can see, this is the side we're going to be putting the Infusible ink on. All right, now what I do is I take just a clean washcloth and brush off and blow off the debris. And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to set up our iron. You can use a Cricut press, a heat press, or your regular old iron. So we're going to take our Infusible ink out of the box, out of the package. Usually it comes with your parchment inside. If you didn't have this, if you used it up or accidentally threw it away when you were done, then you would just use regular kitchen parchment. Okay, so let's get started. You're going to want to trace your design on whatever type you are using. Let's go for these mermaid scales. Why not? I'm not really a mermaid type of girl, but it shows up really pretty for this, and I want to show off the effect. So I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to go for the area to get the best color, and then I'm just going to trace it with a pencil and cut it out. Now, if you wanted to create your own SVG for this, then you could, of course, send it through your Cricut, stick this to your mat, and cut it to match. But for me, it's really just as easy to go trace it and cut it out as to do all that. Because every keychain is going to be different. Everybody's name's a little different, so the offsets are a little different. So it doesn't save me much time to go take it through Inkscape and make it into an SVG. But you could. If you were making a ton of mom ones for Mother's Day, then that would be worth your while to put it through your Cricut and mass produce them. All right, so I'm going to take this off. I'm going to cut this out and I'll show you what comes next. Now we're ready to apply the Fusible ink. So we've cut it to size. I've cut out the hole. Here's my acrylic. I've cleaned it with a lint-free cloth. You can use a washcloth as long as it's not linty. Mine was a little linty, so I went and stole my husband's shop towels. These are awesome. I love them. They're super thick and lint-free and great for acrylic. So I'm going to lay this way, face down. We're going to line up our Infusible ink. You could use an ordinary iron. It needs to get to about 400 degrees. So that means the high setting. Something like maybe, I'm thinking mine is linen or wool is the high setting. But whatever your highest setting is what you're going to want to use if you use an ordinary household iron. You want to make sure this stays flat. I'm using my Cricut mini press today. This is what it looks like. It's super convenient. I love having it in my craft room. It's showing us that it's good to go. It's glowing green. All right, so let's go back to what we were doing. We're going to lay this on here. Notice this plastic grid is still there. That's okay. It's supposed to be. We're going to use the paper. I'm going to hold it down. If you had heat-safe tape, Cricut makes one, you could apply that and hold your image down to your acrylic, but I'm not gonna. I'm just going to do it like this. And you're gonna press and hold for 30 seconds on each section. Okay, so we have finished that, and I'm gonna park my little Cricut mini press over here in its base and slide it off to the side. And I'm gonna lift the paper and realize this is hot. Be careful about burning your fingers. Hot glue and heat pressing, not good for fingertips. I'm going to come along and get my tweezers, and we're going to gently peel this off and see the rainbow effect. Let's see if I can pick it up. And there, let's see if we can get a white background here. You can see all the color. And now we're going to go ahead and let it cool for a minute and turn it into a keychain. As soon as this cools, we will put the findings on and finish our project. Here we are with my findings box for keychains with my little tassels. It's faux leather and they come in all kinds of colors. I have them linked below along with the hardware parts of your findings. I use needle nose pliers to help me get them connected. And we're going to start with our split ring, our big split ring. I'm going to insert these. And here again, you want to be careful with your acrylic so that you don't scratch it. All right, there's my big ring. Now I'm going to attach the key ring part. So now it's ready to ring onto something like a loop, a string, a fastener, a handle, a strap. That way it can be on backpacks or lunch boxes. And again, it could be this big or it could be smaller. And now I'm going to put the tassel on. And you just spin it around. I picked the lime green because the lime green was at the end here. So here we are. We're all set to go with our, let me turn off the light here and see if that helps the glare a little bit. And there you go. There is your custom DIY Fusible ink acrylic keychain.